Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is going to be a reading from the book Deliverance from Error, or in Arabic which is called al-Munqidh min al-Dalal. The translation is by Hamid Abulaylah, and this book is written by the famous Islamic scholar who is called the most important intellectual after the death of our great Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the history of Islam. He is none other than Abu Hamid Al Ghazali. May Allah have mercy on his soul. This reading will be called Deliverance from Error, or in Bengali, Shotter Shandhane. There will be many parts of this series. In every part, I will be reading from the translation a portion of it. Today, I will be completing the introduction part in this first part of this series video. Let's begin. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Introduction. In the name of God, merciful benefactor, praise be to God. With such praise, every message and address should begin. And blessed be Muhammad, his chosen prophet and messenger. Blessings be upon his kin and companions who have guided people away from error. My brother in faith, you have asked me to reveal to you the purpose and secrets of the sciences and the dangerous and complex depths of the schools of thought. You would like me to tell you what I have undergone in order to distinguish the truth from error in different sects, despite the differences in their paths and methods. You wish to know the daring it took to rise above the plane of conformism to the heights of observation and independent investigation. First, what profit I drew at the beginning from Kalam, or which is called theology. Secondly, how I then turned away from those who defended ta'lim, or teaching, because they were impeded in reaching the truth by their subjection to an imam. Thirdly, how much I mistrusted the methods of the philosophers. And finally, how I came to appreciate the way of Sufism. You would like to see the pulp of the truth as it appeared to me after I came to doubt my efforts to analyze what different people said, and you would like to know what caused me to abandon my teaching in Baghdad despite the great number of my pupils there, and what made me take it up again a long time later in Nishapur. I promptly fulfilled your wishes, which I recognize as sincere, and counting on God to grant aid, confidence, success, and protection, I now plunge into my subject. You should know, may God set you on the right path and lead you gently towards the truth, that people have different religions and beliefs, that there are different theological systems among religious leaders, and that the community of Islam has different sects and paths. All of this constitutes a deep sea in which most have foundered and only a few have survived. Yet each group believes it has found salvation. Each party rejoices at what it possesses. This was accomplished by what the Master of Prophets, peace be upon him, foretold sincerely and truthfully when he said, "My nation will divide into 73 sects, and only one of them will be saved." What he foretold has indeed almost come true. As for myself, since my early youth when I reached puberty, and before 20, up to the present time when I am over 50, I have not ceased to delve into the depths of the deep ocean of the various beliefs of mankind, to plunge into its depths boldly, not as a cautious coward, to bury myself in obscure questions, eagerly seizing upon difficulties and leaping bravely into difficult and obscure issues, and to scrutinize the beliefs of each sect examining from the doctrinal point of view the hidden aspects of every religious group. I do this in order to distinguish those who promote truth from those who advocate falsehood, and the faithful follower of the Sunnah, the tradition from the innovator. I do not leave an interiorist or Baini without attempting to discover his doctrine, or a literalist or Jahiri without seeking to know the essentials of his belief. I want to know the real thought of the philosopher, the philosophy. I try to understand the purpose of the theologian or the mutakallim, discussion and argumentation. I wish to penetrate the secrets of the mystic, the Sufi. I observe the devotee and what he gains from his severe devotion, as well as the nihilist, materialist, the Jindiq, in order to discover the reasons for his bold attitude. From my youngest years in the prime of life, my thirst to seize the profound reality of things was a natural instinct or tendency which God placed in me, not by my choice or conscious decision. As I approached adolescence, while still young, the traditional bonds had already loosened and my inherited tendencies had broken down. I perceived that Christian children grew up as Christians, young Jews grew up in Judaism, and young Muslims in Islam. I had heard the tradition, the hadith, that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, everyone is born with a sound nature, the fitra, and it is one's parents who make one into a Jew, a Christian, or a Magian. An interior force drove me to research the reality of original human nature and that of the beliefs which derive from the conformism to the authority of parents and teachers. I tried to discern among the elements which are taught by rote and accepted without question, which discrimination gives rise to so much controversy regarding what is true and what is false. Then I said to myself, my aim is to perceive the deep reality of things. I wish to seize the essence of knowledge. Certain knowledge is that in which the thing known reveals itself without leaving any room for doubt or any possibility of error or illusion. Nor can the heart allow such a possibility. One must be protected from error, and what should be so bound to certainty that any attempt, for example, to transform a stone into gold or a stick into a serpent would not raise doubts or engender contrary probabilities. I know very well that 10 is more than 3. If anyone tries to dissuade me by saying, no, there is more than 10 in 3, and wants to prove it by changing in front of me the stick into a serpent, even if I saw him clinging it and changing it, still this fact would engender no doubt about my knowledge. Certainly I would be astonished at such a power, but I would not doubt my knowledge. Thus I came to know that whatever is known without this kind of certainty is doubtful knowledge, not reliable and not safe. That all knowledge is subject to error is not sure, and it is not certain. This is the end of the first part of this video lecture series, a reading series actually. In the next part, we will be talking about some portions from the chapter 1, the way of sophistry and the denial of all knowledge. Thank you. May Allah bless you all.